All right, here we are back once again. Live show, Thursday, May 2nd. I'm going to talk a little NFL draft recap and get into a little bit of Knicks playoff games.
Doozy.
I'm here with
Yes, sir.
Word Life and Flexilent.
Yes, sir.
So I
Saludos.
think we have a Jets draft grade. So what grade are we giving to one of the Joes? Joe number one,
Yeah,
Joe number two.
yeah, we got two Joes. This Joe, I don't know. I think the Jets did pretty decent. Probably, I'd say about a B plus ish. They hit like the main spots that they needed to hit. But the future left tackle, they had the weapon that they needed to get, and then they sprinkled in little things here and there that if a couple of them hit, great. Like they needed to get they've been needing a goal line type back. The backs that they've gotten that they've gotten for Brees Hall, that Brees Hall's number two. Like, first of all, last year you had, Dalvin Cook, and, he's one of the guys that you don't really want to, he doesn't want to be that. So we got a rookie, a bruiser, six, 6'2", 235, 240-pound running back there. He's still 20 years old. Uh, who could pass block and kind of, spell out Brees Hall when he needs when he needs to come out.
Mhm.
Sprinkle a couple other. They were able to pick up a third rounder for next year. One of the trades. It was a little confusing why they drafted two running backs, but whatever, man. It's they got a dude from the CFL,
Mhm.
um,
Quantas
whose
Taylor.
story is crazy.
Mhm.
His story is crazy, and he does have a lot of potential. First, he has to be the first guy ever drafted that played in the that family, right? If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
um,
assuming
the
so.
fan controlled league. But yeah, there's overall not too much to quibble with. There's nothing crazy. There was no moves up or anything like that caused a ruckus. There wasn't a crazy move down that made them lose players. And they got the guy that they didn't they got a guy that nobody was mentioning with them. So I like that. I like that they kept everything top secret this time too. So
Mhm.
I don't know. If there was somewhere between B and B plus, I think that's where I would stay with the Jets draft this year.
How
Yeah.
did the playoff scenarios work out? The top five scenarios or whatever. Did any of those scenarios
Oh,
come true? I forgot.
well, one of them did, but it wasn't the same player. So the player it was in one of the like a slight trade down. They were able to pick up a fourth rounder just to move back one spot. So it was like Robert Saleh said in the draft documentary that they did. It was free money. Um, so they picked up a fourth rounder. Um, and then they ended up getting the tackle that they wanted. It was a left tackle. I thought that they were kind of linked to Troy Fontenot, but I guess he's a little bit older. He was a 24-year-old prospect. They don't really like going that old in like that high in the draft. And he had some kind of injury red flags. So they went with Fashanu, and last year if Fashanu would have come out, he would have been the first tackle taken, and people just kind of like cooled off on him, this year. So I think he has a lot of potential. He's still crazy young, and you can see how good of a blocker he is, considering
Yeah.
how well his mom blocked off the girlfriend from getting all up in the video when he was drafted, and they showed the selection live on TV. So
Yeah. Hey, y'all got Braylon Allen with that fourth pick too. So
yeah, he's a
we'll
big,
see.
big, big dude, man.
Yeah, young kid.
That's they're changing their. It looks like they're changing their personality. They're trying to be a lot more physical with finesse because they
That's
have
the
the
AJ Dillon.
finesse.
That's the AJ Dillon right there.
Yeah, they got the finesse. Like not to say Brees Hall is finesse by any means. You're still talking about a 220.
Yeah, but he's still shifty and
Yeah, but I'm saying like in terms of like the way that they want to play down late in the games, they want to bruise up. It looks like they're changing their like run scheme philosophy. That's why I mean maybe that's why they got two running backs that kind of fit that style. Um, and they want to do smash mouth with finesse because they got a quarterback who can play finesse and they got Garrett Wilson, but they needed that size. Like I've been saying for a while, they got a Malachi Corley. He's a running back, basically behind the line of scrimmage, and he's in the mold of Debo Samuel. He's got to prove himself to be able to be compared with him when in the
Aren't
league.
running
But
backs usually behind the line of scrimmage? I don't understand what that means.
no. I mean like a weapon. Like Malachi Corley is a wide receiver technically, but he's converted he's a running back. He used to play running back, and he weighs like 220. He bench pressed 225 27 times. He likes to put a
he's a
hurting
strong
on
boy.
players.
Yeah.
And
Nah, he
he's
looks
like
good.
a lot of his targets are behind the line of scrimmage. That was the knock on him. That's kind of why he dropped. And some people didn't like him because they thought that all he can do is kind of like catch screens and bubbles and reverses and all that stuff. So that's kind of why I guess some people didn't like him, but he's shown the potential to do other stuff. He's just hasn't been able to show that yet. So let's hopefully with Aaron Rodgers, he's able to, expand that role and to where it's not just, plays from behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Nah, I like that pickup, man. What any takes on the quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. There's no real take to have. I like that they drafted one. It's like the perfect situation, technically, where you have somebody that's sitting behind somebody, as we've seen it work for the last 30 years with Green Bay. You put somebody to learn, this is not like the level of prospect that a Aaron Rodgers and a Jordan Love were because those were first round picks. But somebody who could sit back and learn. He's got some tools. He's a winner. He's got that mentality. So if they can develop him into something, next year, the year after, where he's your backup and he's barely making any money, that's great. And
he's gonna sit behind two.
One thing I will say. Well, remember we were playing around with the Steelers wide receiver. They were going to the Jets when they were trying to trade up for wide receiver from the 72. They were trying to trade up into the second round. The two wide receivers that they wanted were Malachi Corley or Roman Wilson. And Roman Wilson ended up going to the Steelers because they picked Malachi Corley over him. Just watch what's going to happen with Roman Wilson. He's gonna blow up.
Yeah, I thought as soon as they drafted him, I was like, George's guy was the guy that they.
And also, it's like that. It's the perfect offset to George Pickens. George Pickens is the big dude that falls out of bounds, the acrobatic catches. This is the guy who's going to, do the dirty work in between. So, watch that.
Yeah, I liked it, man. The two running back thing was questionable, and then you already got somebody like what's his name, Izzy or Iggy that you guys got.
Is it last year? But we're really talking about fifth round picks, so it's like
yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? It's like.
I mean,
No, every round counts. Fifth round picks are important. Don't diminish the fifth round picks. That's how you build a roster.
That's how you skip pass on Brady right there. Or Strahan.
That's even deeper than the fifth round pick.
Yeah, Strahan too. Strahan was past the fifth. No, I think Strahan was a fifth. But yeah, overall, man, Jets did good. I liked it. As far as the Giants go, Malik Neighbors with the first round pick. I don't hate it. I'm not. I debated
You
a
don't
lot with
hate
my
it.
man. I'm debated a lot with my man's. All right, so my man's thinks we did awful because we didn't pick up a quarterback. But it's like I kind of feel like you don't force that, man. If you don't pick, if you don't like the quarterback, you don't pick him. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, they must have not liked Penix. You know what I'm saying? They must have not saw. They must have not liked the do rag. You know, like we've been talking about here, last couple of months. So they skipped on the do rag kid. They picked up a more troublesome, but obviously not the receiver. I mean, not the quarterback position. Malik Neighbors. I think the kid's explosive. You know, with everything that they've been doing the last couple of years, I feel like they're if they can get Daniel Jones to they're gonna do a poor man's Dolphins roster, right? It's like all small, speedy guys. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So if they can build that scheme around Daniel Jones, we've seen what I consider a average quarterback look good. Dable, if Dable can put it together, put up the playbook together, I think we can have an explosive offense. We got Malik Neighbors, Wandell Robinson, um, Hyatt that we got last year. Slayton that's still there. So a whole bunch of explosive guys. The As far as the offense goes, we got Devin Singletary also. So I know I'm excited to see it, man. My man's down on it. He don't want to see. He don't really care. He's so out on Daniel Jones. I'm like,
Hmm.
whatever, man. The kid could throw somewhat. You know what I mean? I mean, he's not a complete nothing. You
I
know what
would
I mean?
hope so.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I like it, man. I like what we did. I'm excited about the offense. The defense in the second round, we picked up Tyler Nubin, a safety. I heard great things about him. I didn't specifically see the safeties. I didn't really tap in that well, but I've heard good things about him. I saw some tape on him after we drafted him. The kid looks very instinctive. I heard he didn't run. He didn't do a great. He didn't do great at the combine, but as far as on the field, the kid looked good. So. I'm excited about that. Andrew Phillips, cornerback, another after. I mean, pretty much after I didn't really hear much of these guys. I've heard one of these guys after, but um, Andrew Phillips, another guy that I looked into after. Like he got good man coverage skills. I'm a little confused about that pick because we have DBs, we have Flat, which is a good slot corner. I thought it was a good slot corner at 6'1", that played pretty well. That got better as the year progressed. So I was kind of scratching my
Flat the
head on
slot.
that. Yeah, Flat. Yeah,
Flat the
flat in the
slot.
slot. Yeah, flat the slot. Yeah. So I'm a little confused about that one. But the kid looks good. Supposedly the kid got grit and the kid plays hard
Yeah,
nose, good
I don't know.
tackler.
I think he just Shane goes a little bit off the rails after they get to the, you know,
Yeah.
third-ish
Hmm.
round picks. Like he goes a
It
little
looks
bit too
nuts.
crazy. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and I actually had that discussion with my man, and it's like I told to George too. I don't think he has like I don't think he plays the board after like the second round. I think he
Yeah,
just like this is the guy I
the
like. This is the
players
guy
that he
we're gonna get.
likes.
This is the guy I like. This we're gonna get. I don't care if he's the third round, fourth round. If he'll be there in the fourth, I don't care. After the second round is like I'm just gonna get the guy that I know and that we studied. So
Hmm.
I feel like that's a lot of this. And honestly, this pick here, the Theo Johnson was the fourth pick, the tight end. That kid
I
looks
like that
solid,
pick.
man. He
I
looks
like
like a
that pick.
good baller, big, solid,
His his
6'2".
athletic score is crazy too.
Yeah, he did good in the combine. He did better. He's actually the opposite of everybody here. He did better in the combine than he did in film.
Mm.
But some people say it's because the tight end they have a monster dual tight end in Penn
But I mean,
State.
also like their quarterback. I mean, they I don't know the way that they play offenses at Penn State is a little
Yeah.
offensive.
All right, and then we got this is the one I heard. I had heard Mel Kiper speak about it on one of his shows. Tyrone Tracy Jr., uh, receiver turned running back. He's like, I think he was second in yards after contact in the whole league after I think I don't one of the running backs that got drafted. So he looks good, man. He looks solid. 5'11", strong kid, looks very agile. There's not a lot of tape on him, but there's some. Um, he look good. He looks like I mean, like I said, this is a poor. I feel like this is their A chain. This is like the poor man's Dolphins team. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Until they get there, and then with the sixth pick, we got Darius Masu, linebacker UCLA. Like another guy I didn't really know much about. I saw his little tape. He looks like I'm confused if he's a middle linebacker because we're 3-4. So I don't know if he's gonna play middle or is he gonna play outside. But yeah, man. Overall, they did good. I don't have a grade, but I feel like we did skip on a lot of players that I kind of that were there for a while. You know, we didn't pick up a quarterback, so in that I'm kind of a little upset. I wish they would have, even if they would have, kicked the tires on Milton in the fourth, fifth round. I think he went in the sixth round, matter of fact. So
Yeah.
I kind of wish I
Well,
would
no,
have
I think it
seen
was seventh actually.
seventh. So he was there in the sixth. So I kind of wish they would have kicked the tires on that, and maybe they did, and it just didn't fall through. But all in all, man, I'm it's cool. It's cool. I think we're gonna stink. But
We need a grade.
a grade, I'll give you I'll give you as far as draft goes, I'll give you a B minus.
Okay.
We're gonna fucking suck anyway. But
Now,
I'm
but
just being
where
honest.
does that leave Joe Shane? Because this was the I'm in or I'm out
Yeah,
draft for Joe Shane. That
yeah,
was declared.
yeah. It was declared. It was
What's the
declared.
verdict?
So
Guilty or not guilty?
I I don't think he's gonna work out.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not a hard like bitch you did me dirty, but it's like I see you trying, babe, but it's just not gonna work out. You know what I mean? like I'm just being honest. Like you
I
can't
bought
just
like bought a piece of jewelry to like buy a couple more months.
not even yeah. I don't know. Maybe she brought a girl in the bedroom, and I'm like, I can't tell her just yet. Maybe she could bring a couple more girls in before I let her
Yeah,
know the
I'm gonna
bad
milk
news.
this a little bit.
Yeah, she knew it was coming. She pulled the fucking rabbit out of her hat.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out, man. I think the guy's something's up with the guy. I don't. I think he's in his own world. He does what he wants. He doesn't really play the draft.
He's a big like
My guy.
like analytics type of like you know what I'm saying like that type of
Yeah.
GM, which is great like because like Howie Roseman, Howie Howie yeah Howie Roseman. Am I confused?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, you
no,
got
I'm
it. You got
confusing
it. Just
him.
push
No,
through,
no, no,
baby.
no,
Push through. You
no,
got
no,
it.
no, because no, because I'm confused. I'm like for a second, I
You're
thought, wait,
confusing
am
him
I
with Howie
confusing him
Rose,
with
the
Howie
Mets guy,
Rose?
the Mets
Yeah,
radio guy.
yeah. So yeah, like that type, it works out if you play, but you just got to select the right players. You can't just do moves and do all this stuff just to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to put the results in, and he has to start getting the results in pretty
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, it's gonna have to start now. But that's what I said. Like, as far as if we can make a playbook scheme for that fit Daniel Jones, where he's not running too much, he's
Where
dinking
he's
and
not throwing
dunking,
too much.
where he's not throwing or running too much or getting sacked too much. Nah, but real talk, like dinking and dunking, and it's kind of West Coast kind of a lot of motion. You got the fast pieces now, so a lot of motion and things of that nature. I think we could pull a rabbit out of our ass, man. I feel like I said earlier, if I could see Tua perform and have the stat numbers that he has, I feel like I could see Daniel Jones do the same shit. I don't have Tua much better than Daniel Jones, honestly. That's just my. I know I sound crazy because
Well, no, we know you're a notorious true hater, so that doesn't surprise anybody.
and Daniel Jones apparently.
What do you mean, Daniel
Daniel
Jones?
Jones.
Apparently I'm a Daniel Jones hater too because I compared him to Tua. So, but I don't know, man. We'll
No,
see.
but
We'll
like,
see.
I I don't think you hate Daniel Jones. I don't look
Nah,
at you as a Daniel Jones hater.
Very
not a
objective.
hater, but I'm kind of done with the kid. Like
You skew negative. You skew negative.
yeah, and Tua, I wouldn't be that way if people saw what I saw in him. It's this fact that everybody says he's so fucking good. And I'm like, how can you say that just because the numbers lie and shit?
See, I
Because
don't get that. I don't get everybody saying he's so good, but
you don't see that, you don't hear that.
nah.
I hear it.
No.
I've heard it a few times.
And
it's funny because
yeah.
Dolphin fans, I've asked them sometimes, and I've heard negative and positive. So they kind of like it, like kind of like the Daniel Jones thing. A lot of, you ask some New York Giant fans, they love Daniel Jones. Oh, he don't got the weapons. He hasn't had the time. We need more time. And others are like completely done with him. So, I don't know. But yeah, all in all, I'll give him a B minus. B minus, like in between in the C, in between like B and C, like right there. I'll go B minus.
Wow.
Mhm.
So Joe Shane is done. He's out. B
Well,
minus.
He's a
We're
pet
gonna
carcass.
stink. We're gonna
We're
stink.
gonna stink. Even if he hit an A plus, we would have stunk. So
He stinks.
because we might have had Penix, and then we might have had.
Yeah, but that was
You
an
weren't gonna
interesting.
get Penix because if you tried
He
to,
was doing.
if the Falcons
Yeah.
thought that you were gonna try to draft Penix, they would have traded up to get him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know what's crazy?
How y'all feel about that? I know that shit got him.
You know what's even crazier? Because like I'm just going off this assumption that you didn't see the Jets draft thing, right?
Mhm.
Because they showed all the workings in the draft room went like
I
in
gotta
the
see
first
that.
round.
I gotta see that.
Yeah.
I gotta see that.
Not only did the Jets, they tried to trade up to 8, right? They
Mhm.
tried to trade up to 8 to draft Roma Dunze.
Dunze.
Okay. Not only that, they said that they're staying and they're picking. So on top of them staying and making their pick at 8, they actually, instead of trading down, they wanted to trade with the Jets for pick 10 as well.
Who did?
The Falcons.
Oh shit! What?
The Falcons wanted the 10th pick to go defense.
Wow. Which would have been Turner probably.
Yeah, that's exactly who they say that they were going
Mhm.
up. Well, Joe Douglas said that's who they were trying to go up for. But I mean,
I think it worked out better for the Jets though.
no. I'm not saying any this is just
Yeah.
this was a Falcons comp. Like
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
saying like they're I don't know like you know what I'm saying like they drafted that in the second round the guy that they like when he said the name you thought that he was making a mistake and couldn't read the name like Rook or
Oh yeah.
Yo, speaking of that, man, everybody needs to stop getting on Jamal Charles, man. Leave that man alone, bro.
Yeah, that's foul. Why they make it?
They did him wrong. I didn't like that at all. Everybody
Who
was
was
clowning
the-
Jamal
He was
Charles,
nervous,
saying he
though.
couldn't
Nah, they
read.
wasn't.
Like, yo, man, he whatever was going on with him, if he couldn't read, that's not something I'm trying to celebrate. Number one. Number
Yeah.
two, I don't think it was that he couldn't read. Just some people
was a
they're
little
not
nervous.
doing the public speaking like that.
No,
Yeah.
Jamal Charles
actually
is a player. He wasn't Mr. fucking media.
He got beat up and he got hit in the head.
He actually talked about he has some sort of disability that I think if I'm not mistaken I heard or saw online that he was like he actually spoke out about like on the
Really?
Special Olympics or something about that. So it wasn't even like it was like something to make fun of. It was like literally
He's definitely gonna win the Special
has an
Olympics then.
Huh? Oh my God! Really?
I thought you were. I thought that's what you were headed.
Running. What is he running? Like stiff
Listen,
arming kids in wheelchairs?
He looked good. He looked like he still play.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't look like. I mean, he wasn't out there looking like Barry Sanders.
Come on, Barry Sanders is twice his age,
He
though.
looking like he about to try to be the next Colonel Sanders. The way he be walking around in and out of the stadiums.
Nah. Yeah, but tell me if Barry Sanders offers you ribs, tell me
They're
that they're not going to be the most slamming ribs.
1,000%. 1,000%.
But I got to get to them and eat them before Darrell Reeves does. That's the only thing. So I'm looking right now. The Giants are plus 400 to make the playoffs. 4-1.
Jeez.
You passing on that or you taking that bet?
Yeah,
okay. You also have to
make the playoffs.
To make the playoffs,
you have to.
yes.
you have to factor in that it's good money. You're not just going off.
Yeah,
like,
it's for
you know what I'm saying.
I mean, I guess some small change, but I mean, how are we gonna
Nothing
beat?
heavy though.
How are we gonna beat the fucking Eagles and the Cowboys? How?
I
And
didn't say to
Washington
win and advance in the playoffs. You don't got to beat
make
the
it
Cowboys or the
wild
Eagles
wild
to
card.
make the playoffs. You can make the
Yeah, you're
playoffs by
right.
getting swept by both of them.
Yeah, which is probably the only logical. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it.
I can't say that, man. I feel like if you told me I had to bet every division matchup, I would bet them all to be split, just off the strength of just football.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, you seen the Patriots pick 2 of my top 5 receivers?
I didn't see that. Did they really? Who they take?
Yeah.
Which
Jalen Polk and Javon Baker.
He said
they were back to back too. They were back to. Oh no! I had Roma Dunze there.
He said Javon Baker said he's going to make. Salud.
Thank you. Sorry.
He's going to make people in wheelchairs stand up.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. So no more Special Olympics. Too bad, Jamal Charles.
Wait, so
what's wrong with me?
I must be Polk and who was the other one?
Javon Baker.
Javon Baker and Polk. They were in your
top
5.
Yep.
Now, based on where everybody landed, who do y'all feel about the breakout receiver of the rookie class? Because I'm looking at odds right now. Most regular season rookie receiving yards. The favorite is Marvin Harrison Jr. at plus 175. Then right after him is Malik Neighbors at plus 550.
I don't see it.
And then third is Coleman. Then after that is Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas is at plus 1,000. But is there anybody who you like? Let me see. I'm trying to look for Polk.
Worthy for oh shit! What the fuck?
I don't know. I think I would go
at plus 1,100.
I mean, he's put in a position where he's gonna have to produce early. So, but they also have a lot of backups. So maybe not
him.
I like Coleman. I like the Coleman pick. That was my number 1 receiver. I like the Coleman pick because he's also in a position where they're gonna have to use him. He's gonna have to be utilized. He's gonna be part of the game plan, whether he wants to or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether he's ready or not. So I think that's a good pick there. What do you think, Flex? You
I'm not a Coleman fan.
How about McConkey?
That's a good one. What? Yeah, that's a good one. He's where'd he go, Saints?
No, he went for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
I'm just looking for value on any of these guys. If you see any value, somebody who could have a role early that has value, because Marvin Harrison at plus 175 is prohibitive favorite. You got him at 175. You got Neighbors at 550. You got Coleman at 750, and then everybody after that is plus 1,000. Brian Thomas 1,000, McConkey 1,100, Worthy 1,100, Dunze 1,100, Bowers comes after that at 1,800. Adonai Mitchell is 2,500. Jermaine Burton is 3,000 to 1. Plus 3,000, 30 to 1.
I don't know. It's difficult with that.
Is 3,500.
But he's in the back.
Yeah,
3,500.
The thing with
Baker 8,000.
The thing with McConkey is just that I just don't see it in terms of like the way that they're going to want to play in Los Angeles. Seems like it's going to be I would assume it's going to be this similar to like the style that he played at Michigan with Harbaugh. I just think maybe he doesn't get because there's not much around him.
Wait, who?
McConkey. So McConkey's going to get a significant amount of targets. I just don't know like the style of play that they're going to play there is going to be conducive.
At that price, given that he's really he's it. right?
Yeah.
He's gonna
I
be
mean,
it
yeah.
his first year, given that price and how deep it is from all the other prices. I feel like that one is worth a sprinkle to me. I mean,
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
gotta
because
give it to
also,
the
I like
drafters.
the
So
I like the McConkey pick because he's he's gonna be quarterback friendly, bro. He's so fast and shifty. He's not, you got the big guys outside, so he's gonna fit right. He's gonna fall right in that role of the slot, a Wes Welker type,
no,
super what?
I think if anything, I think that he would kind of take over with Keenan Allen, right? So you see the amount of touches that Keenan Allen got.
that's what I'm
So
saying. Like,
in
and
that,
and and this guy's he's a lock in on you type of quarterback.
yeah. So and McConkey has that polish. Like his main thing it is the route running and all that type of stuff underneath. So I think that's a safe. I think that's a pretty safe bet there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, I like it at that price
I forgot he's in the Chargers.
to
I'm
Because
get
thinking he's
him
in
at
the Rams.
1100.
even on
I
top,
don't
like
think the space
also
between him and Harrison's prospects and being the top rookie receiver in terms of yards is that big of a gap. He has a 10
but
times better chance. That's crazy.
Yeah,
because also on top of that, you have to figure in like Roman Wilson had a good season, also a slot type receiver. So
Yeah, he's on
at
the list
Michigan,
too.
so
He's where's he at? I just saw
but he
him.
got Pearsall
He's
left.
plus 3500.
the only thing is like with
No, he
no,
has different comp.
Where's
yeah, but
Pearsall? Where's
I'm going off
Pearsall
the
in that?
I'm going off the comp
Pearsall
in
you
terms
have
of
at
what he
Pearsall. I
played in
just saw
Michigan.
him too.
I got you. I got you, Sweat.
Pearsall also plus 3500.
I don't know, man. I think something has to happen. Pearsall, I don't think so, only because I think something had. I think they're kind of like a little bit redundant in like the pieces. You notice like with Ayuk, Debo, and Pearsall, because that's kind of like he has kind of like a game that's in between both of them.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think
don't
he's
know.
more polished. I think he's a
If
more
they
Do
polished
trade
you
route
think that
runner.
they're
now,
gonna
if they
both?
trade,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask. Do you think that they'll that because I know that there was speculation that this guy was gonna get traded either before
yeah.
or during the draft. It didn't
Mhm.
happen, but that doesn't mean it can't. It's not still possible.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I mean, I guess I could open everything up.
Yeah, I think Pearsall's gonna fit. I think
Well,
he's gonna
if
be
it does
off the jump.
happen, that price is gonna change. That's why I'm saying
Exactly. So you got to do it
if you
early.
think there's some potential there, and if you think if one of those guys is moved out of the way, I would make that bet at that price now because once if they end up trading Ayuk tomorrow, that price is gonna probably get cut in half.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm kind of looking at that Coleman sounds solid to me just because of the position he's in. That I mean, I feel like he's gonna be forced to get the ball. So
Well, I
Yeah, I
mean,
just think that the Marvin Harrison one, I just feel like I'm surprised to see that there's such a gap between Harrison and everybody else.
because he's
yeah.
gonna go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Because he's in that position where he's going to a team that with a quarterback that likes to scramble, throw the ball down the field. So I understand why Marvin Harrison is ahead of that. He's like the number one guy. He's gonna be like the number one guy. So
But I'm
it
just
makes
like think
sense.
about it. How many yards you think just in total? How many yards you think this guy Kyler Murray is going to throw for next year? If he has a fully healthy season, a decent
Oof.
season, how many yards you think he's throwing for?
I think he's going to have a good season. I think.
A good season,
What do you
yes.
think?
He's had good seasons before. He's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
even in his good seasons, he's not dropping 300, 400-yard games all the time.
Nah, not all the
Yeah.
time.
That's not his game. Even at his best, he tops out at about like just under 3.
Yeah, I
Whereas
feel you.
you could be
But
looking
also,
at
like,
somebody in another offense. We just talking about yards. You could be looking at somebody in another offense, like with a quarterback that's going to throw for 4,000 yards. It's
Yeah,
different
nah,
from playing with a
he
quarterback
yeah,
like Kyler Murray, who might, maybe he throws for $3,000. That's
yeah.
the
3K
math on
pushing.
that is going to hurt you.
I see him 3K
yeah, I got
pushing
you.
4, 3K pushing 4, like
I just think
three
that they're going to
six.
make a concerted effort because if you look at like the wide receivers that were there for Kyler Murray last year, we're not talking about like really anything crazy. We're talking about a bunch of guys, and I think if he has if he has the guy right, he's going to get a lot of he's going to get a lot of attention. Also, like the thing with like the wide receivers, the thing with like last year, it was easier for Puka Nacua to like kind of creep up. One, because of the crazy season he had. Two, because there was nobody that started so strong up top in terms of like, you didn't have a Malik Neighbors, you didn't have a Marvin Harrison that you're gonna have to pry like the public perception from them. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So this year, like for another wide receiver to be able to win it and take it away from one of them, he's gonna have to be a lot. He's gonna have to be damn near close to Puka Nacua because there's two guys or three guys that already have like they're already, let's say, quote unquote labeled as the favorites to win that award. Like
But we're
last
not
year,
talking about an
like
award.
what do you mean? Like but
That's the
to
thing. That's my whole point. Is I'm not talking about an. It's not about an award. It's about most. I'm talking about most receiving yards. Like,
gotcha.
cause that's what I'm saying. Like the whole, in terms of like, the votes and the popularity and getting on the radar and all that shit. As far as this bet, it means like I understand what you're saying in terms of like trying to win, maybe offensive rookie of the year or whatever the case may be, for sure. But if we're just talking about pure production stats wise, like I could see Marvin Harrison winning offensive rookie of the year and maybe not even being the top
Yeah.
rookie receiver. Maybe he has like whatever. Maybe like say he has whatever 30 more receptions, and maybe it's close between him and like say Neighbors or somebody else, and he might not even top them out in yards, but wins the award anyway because of everything that you're saying. But we win the bet because he doesn't top off the yards. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I got you. But I mean, also you got to think about the quarterback situation. Let's say like that Garrett Wilson stepped into 2 years ago, and he won the award. Whatever, that's not what we're talking about now. But like he was able to go over 1,000 yards. Like you're gonna need somebody to go well above that. Like as a like I don't know. I just think there's a lot of rookie wide receivers this year that kind of jumbles it up a little bit. Like even with the quarterback situation that Garrett Wilson had, he was able to get like that many yards. So I think if like the game that Marvin Harrison plays, it's like 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 he does the route running, he does all that stuff. So it's conducive to getting a lot of yards and like yards after the catch, like a Lad McConkey, let's say like a Roman Wilson as well. I would and like even like a Malik Neighbors, the type of guy that I'd fade in that situation would be more like of a Rome Dunze that's going to be he's more a straight line 9 route Mike Williams type receiver where he's 40-yard receptions 50-50 balls. So I think I would wipe that one off, and on top of that he does have two other very capable receivers that he has to compete with. So I don't even think that at plus 1,100
Yeah.
or 1,000. That to me that's a terrible bet. Yeah, so I would go with more like
Yeah,
somebody
I
who's going
mean,
to
just
eat
look
up
at that. That's
yards.
what I'm saying. Like the idea that McConkey and Adunze are at the same price to me seems kind of silly.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, like McConkey's like there's nobody else there. They're not going to air it out, and and that's somebody. If if um if Jim Harbaugh drafted him that high over some of the players, like for example, like a Roman Wilson, like that was available when he drafted McConkey, it's because he really loves his game,
Yeah.
and he's the type of dude that like when he loves a player, he's gonna try everything to get the ball in the hands of the player. So
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
what I'm
just
saying.
yeah
Like, even if we're forecasting a drop off in the prioritization of the pass game for the Chargers because Harbaugh is there, I feel like that is offset by exactly what you're saying. The fact that he's the guy there, and given the way that the draft played out and how he prioritized choosing this guy, he's going to. We can assume he'll be a priority in an offense that even if they're going to go run heavy, I still don't think Justin Herbert's not going to finish the season with 2,500 yards. I mean, Justin Herbert's he's a 5,000 yards. He's a
Yeah.
5,000 yards a season type of quarterback.
mhm.
And if you're,
And I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like if we're saying he's going to be, and even if we say he's not going to throw for 5,000 yards this year because the offense changes, I still feel good about him being able to get to the ball to a guy who we can assume is going to be the number one option there. And again, at that price, that's you know
the more I think about it,
more
the
than
more I like it
five
because
times the price for Marvin Harrison, who, while I think Marvin Harrison will be good, and I just Kyler Murray's good too. I don't know. That price, why am I going to bet, to plus 175, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to bet 100 to win
to make
270,
75.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like when I could bet 100 to win 1,100.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like I said, like the more I think about it, the more I like it. Think about the cornerbacks that are in the division.
Yeah, that
They
too.
the Chiefs traded away um
Sneed.
his name is escaping me right now, but
Sneed.
they traded to who?
Sneed.
They traded away L'Jarius Sneed, which is a player who he would be, you know,
Their best.
like be facing like um he went over to the Titans. You have I can't really name the cornerback on the Raiders because they I think the Colts signed their slot guy. So I mean you're talking about a more favorable situation, in that like for example, you're saying Keon Coleman, right? But he's the number one, but he's got 6 games that he has to go against Sauce Gardner, um, Jalen Ramsey, and if Christian Gonzalez comes back the way he was looking for the Patriots before he got injured,
Hmm.
you have six games that that you have shut down corner capabilities going against you.
That's true.
So I think some of that you have to take into account. Like and especially later on, for example, later on in the games, you see what the type of games they turn into with Josh Allen, right? They
Yes.
turn into Josh Allen running the ball, then like airing it out deep. You know what I'm saying? Like and those are 50-50 as well. So I just think that like for Keon Coleman, I, I
No,
don't
I can't do
really
Keon Coleman. I can't do. You know what? Another reason I can't do Keon Coleman, because when it comes
he's
when,
stupid
when
as
I'm
shit.
when I'm monitoring this bet in December, and I got Keon Coleman playing in the fucking blizzard, and I got my guy McConkey indoors in fucking L.A. Like,
LA.
nah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna feel good. Even if he's up by 50 yards, I'm not gonna feel good about those last couple of weeks when I'm
Mm,
gonna be playing my games in Buffalo and in New England and in MetLife Stadium. Not only going up
Right.
against tough corners, but I'm gonna be playing in God knows what kind of cold weather, wind, snow shit. Whereas I
yeah.
got half my games indoors. Whether you're talking about Harrison or McConkey, you got better weather just in general late in the season, that I would
That's
Hmm.
true.
much rather have that in my back pocket, that I'm gonna be playing those indoor games or those West Coast games,
No, that
No,
makes sense.
absolutely, absolutely.
because they be trying to pivot to the low scoring ground and pound when the weather drops anyway. So
Yeah, and also you have to be assuming that you're gonna be winning a game to be in the ground and pound game. and I don't think that the Chargers are going to be winning that many games. So I can't see them, like even though their style is going to be like I feel like their style is going to be ground and pound ish. At the end of the game, when you're trying to get like in the fourth quarter, when you're trying to score to take a lead or tie up or come back from behind, you're gonna have to eat yards, and I think that's conducive to somebody like Lad McConkey getting a lot of touches.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So it's over for Joe Shane. And where are we putting the win total at for the Giants this year?
Hmm.
6.
6. So you're going under. There were 6.5. There were 7.5.
I
Right?
think it's
8.5.
7.5 last year.
I
Hold
think
on,
it's
let me
6 and a
check.
half.
I got it right here. Giants. Where the fuck are the Giants? Eagles. Giants. 6.5.
Yeah,
I
so
think,
under. I think 6.
Wow, and 6.5. And not only that, it's you're getting juice with the 6.5.
What?
really.
Yeah, it's 6.5 at
On the
plus
under?
150, over at plus 115.
Jeez.
Mm.
Under 6.5 is minus 135. So that looks like a total that they wanted to do 5.5, but they were like, we'll
It
do
seems
six
that
and
way.
a half and we'll pump it up. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Wow.
for that you
So
have to go either 5.5 or 6.5. So
Yeah.
that's the good thing about over under season totals. There's no ties.
yeah. Damn. So I guess according to Word Life, that's a bet. I'm taking the under 6.5 wins.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I don't believe that. I can't
you
bet
think
that.
you think? Oh, remember when we said that last year?
Here's my thing. Do you think how many wins you think Brian Dable needs to survive the year? Because to me, I feel like under 6.5, you might be looking for a new coach. You can't go that far under that 6.5 without starting to ask, are we looking for a new coach? I feel like 6 wins, maybe you can get away with it. But if we're talking, if you're telling me the Giants are going to be a 4 or 5 win team, I think you're going to be looking for you might be looking for a new coach.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
That's crazy. That's why they probably should have gone quarterback for that same reason, man.
That's what I think. Mara got his hand too much in that fucking jar, bro. I do. I
I
think
no, but
Mara's promising them.
I don't think for a receiver they would have done that though.
What do you mean?
I don't think for a receiver he'd put his hands in the
Nah, but
like
but
I think he would have been content drafting JJ McCarthy, and being like, yo, if something if something happened this year, they would have given him another year. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I think it was more like this. I think they were like, listen, I think Dable's the prime guy that's saying, hey, listen, man, Jones is broken. Let's go get May. I think Shane is like, you really like him? We'll try to go get him. And I think Joe Shane has to go to Mara and say, listen, I know you love Daniel. I know that the only reason you gave me the job is because I'll find somebody that was gonna fix him. I brought the QB whisperer. The kid got injured last year, but we really like this kid Drake May, and I think Mara's like maybe he's like no, or okay, if you could get Drake May, get Drake May, but if you can't, that's it. You get weapons for Daniel. You get the weapon for Daniel. I really believe that because I feel like for some unknown reason, I just feel like Mara has some sort of tie with this Daniel Jones kid, and he wants to give him another shot.
Yeah, but you see why they were trying to trade up for Drake May. Did you hear him talk? I don't know if in our chat we put Drake May talking. Did you
Nah,
hear him speak?
I haven't seen that.
He
I've
sounds
heard him speak.
he sounded exactly like Eli Manning. I'm telling you, I'll send it. I'll send it after.
I feel like that's what everybody was saying about Daniel Jones when they drafted him.
Yes,
So,
and
yeah,
that's why he would have
Manning.
been. That's why he would have been willing to move off of Daniel Jones for him.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it makes sense.
They should
JJ
just bring back
McCarthy.
Phil Simms.
JJ McCarthy, I think, was a little bit too cocky.
I think that's too much. I think that's just too much of a reach for them. And I think Dave and them is like, nah, we're not hitching our wagon to that. Like, you know, like
Who?
You know who also sounds a little
JJ.
bit like Eli Manning? Michael Penix, a little bit.
Did he?
But only when Eli is rapping. He sounds like Eli when Eli's rapping.
Yeah, but Leggett, yeah, he's fucking hilarious.
Well, you know what I'm saying? He sounded like
He sounds like a
fucking,
country singer.
Yeah, he sounded like Hank
Yeah, Hank Hill.
Hank Hill. Hank Hill's
Nah,
friend.
yo,
The Hauser.
That nigga,
Yeah. You know, man, you know, there's a name. Or
Yeah,
like
man.
Bubba Gump from
Forrest.
from Forrest Gump.
He's the man.
Nah, but this guy
Yo,
talks
man.
like what you would think a sheriff in Texas sounds like, a
Yo.
small town sheriff. He sounds
for
just
real.
like that shit, yo. Shit is crazy. Moreno
man.
talking like that shit is bugged out to me.
Small town
No.
sheriff that murdered the guy that looks like him.
Exactly, that killed his father. Yeah,
Terrible.
Like that's like a parody movie where the sheriff kills the person who looks like that. Then something happens to the sheriff in the morgue. Something happens, or like lightning hits it, and then they switch.
Freaky Friday.
oh shit, the murder,
Anyway.
Freaky Friday.
the hood version.
That's
That
a
is a great
fucking
movie.
plot right
That's
there.
a
That's
movie,
sick.
boy.
Could you imagine?
Word.
That'd be
Nigga
sick.
said
I'm
lightning
gonna
hits.
make that.
That shit makes no sense, but it hit him. It hit him.
Yo,
and
my
they
nigga,
switch
when
bodies.
when lightning hits some shit in the movies, all bets
No,
are
for
off.
real. I think what happens is
That's fire, though.
while he's killing the black kid, he gets hit by lightning that kills him. So they both die right there at the same time. And then
Gotcha.
there's a swap, and they
There's a
When he
switch.
puts
take it off,
when he
they
puts the
wake
gun
up.
in the air,
There's a switch in the souls and shit.
he's like stepping on a puddle. Now he's stepping on a puddle. He puts the gun in the air. The lightning bolt conducts, and they do this. You know when they do this shit in the movie, and they start shaking.
Yo, that's like Ernest Goes to Jail. Remember that shit?
Right.
That's definitely where my head got that shit from.
That's what that was the first thing that came to my mind when you did the shaking. 'Cause I remember he had and his lip was shaking.
Yo, that's crazy. I haven't seen that movie in 1,000 years.
Yo, I need to watch that movie. That shit.
Yeah, that's funny.
We
though,
need to
bro.
make them easy.
movie.
And then he like run, and then like he don't know he don't know they switch bodies, so he runs to his man's like trap house and shit, and you see the cops. Oh shit, the cops shit.
It's almost like Face Off.
Yo, this
Right?
You know what I'm
movie is
saying?
fire,
Like,
yo.
His movie is dope.
fire.
His movie is fucking dope.
We need to stop talking about it live. Before
Yeah. You
for
might
real.
have to
Let's
block
take our
that.
shit.
Yeah, they might have to block that shit.
All right, but right now we got the Pacers holding off the Bucks by 10 points.
Nice.
If the Pacers win, it's not nice. If the Pacers win, they will go on to face the winner of the Knicks and the Sixers. The game tonight, 9 p.m. TNT.
In Philly.
How are you feeling after Game 5?
My heart was ripped out of my chest, man. That was, man, that fucking kid, man. Maxie the superstar, just like we spoke about here.
He's
No, don't do this. I already wiped my hands of that. Like, I'm not getting entrenched in that take. I'm off that take. He proved it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
Nah,
don't attribute
with that
to me.
with that travel, he proved it.
Damn.
with the travel. Wow.
But the kid is good, man. And now I know why my Philly friends was like, nah, Max is our guy.
Yo, I can say I guess that's his team. That's not Embiid. That's not Embiid's team,
Nah.
yo. Like you see the way that they interact. He gives them energy. Like Joel Embiid's just lumbering around. Like I don't know. I think maybe Embiid's like. I think there's a difference. Like sometimes I feel like losing could take a toll on you, right? And I think Embiid's been through so much losing that maybe he just has that like he doesn't really care mentality, especially given that like that was the mentality in Philadelphia was to lose for that long. So I think like Maxey came at a time where it's like, yo, we're winning this shit. Like, and he doesn't have that mentality in him. So he's just like flying around. He looks like he looked like John Morant last game. Flying to the hoop, like, you know what I'm saying? Like doing
I
all
was
these
so
like all
mad.
this shit.
Are you
I
talking
was
about
so
Maxey?
Yeah, Maxie. I was so
Oh,
mad
yes.
when we fouled them, man. I was so pissed. I was pissed. I had Tell me y'all didn't see Hart missing that free throw. As soon as
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh no. I was like, come on, Hart, please don't.
You know
Anytime,
what's funny
I
about
honestly,
Maxey?
I've gone to the.
People talk a lot about, especially in the NBA. People talk a lot about players that got passed on, and you know you look back and this, obviously people talk forever about how the Knicks didn't get
Yeah.
Steph Curry, and I remember, who was it, Rolando Blackman, who they or
Mhm.
Balkman, who they drafted
Ball.
over somebody. I forget who they drafted him over.
There's been a bunch
But
of them.
nobody talks about all the people that passed on Maxey.
Yo, for real, man.
Yeah.
Especially, you know what the funniest one is, the pick that was. Do you know who was picked right before Tyrese Maxey in the NBA draft?
No.
No.
Someone
I'll give
had
you a
this
clue. He's on the Knicks
currently. Deuce?
currently. Current
Achua?
Knick. Yes, sir. The Heat
Deuce?
selected Precious Achua. I think he was
Wow.
27th, and Maxey went right after.
No, Maxie didn't go that. I think Maxie went like 20th.
Yo, Chua should have fucking
But
Well, I don't
Ochua did.
remember.
No, Ochua did go like 19, 18 or so. No, he went 17 because
7. So okay, so
he's
not 27.
because he's the
17.
highest. I think he's the highest drafted Nick currently, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he wasn't drafted higher than Julius Randle, but if you want to talk about people who
Oh
are
yeah, I mean like
Julius
I guess
Randle was a lottery
active.
pick.
Yeah, I guess active. Yeah, Julius Randle was the third pick, I think.
I'm pretty sure he was top 5. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, because that was that was the same draft that Emmanuel Quickly was drafted in. So, but he was Emmanuel Quickly was drafted like 25, I think, something like that. But they were mentioning because that was when they had the Kentucky, the one of the coaches from Kentucky, and that was one of the players that they were mentioning that the Knicks should try to draft. But Tyrese Maxey went, obviously he went earlier or whatever, and then the Knicks ended up drafting Emmanuel Quickly, and it looked good. And I mean, it looked good. I mean, honestly, it turned out fine for the 25th pick. But man, you were that close to getting somebody like that again. It's like, because even like you can even like on like even worse than what you're saying, Bobby, was like that. I mean, that's worse, obviously. But like when you go back and you're like, damn, they were this close to getting somebody like that, only because obviously there was the Kentucky connections as well. But yeah, there's like I feel like more people do that with Tyrese Halliburton than they do with Maxey, and Maxey's turned out to be the better player. And even though Halliburton, how much money is Halliburton?
So his went 20 and Maxey went 21.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just crazy when you look at, especially when like if you would have told me who am I gonna bet to make the right pick, the Heat or the Sixers, I would have taken the Heat.
Yeah, man.
But old Godfather Pat missed on that one.
Because the thing with the Heat is that they have their too many stipulations in the way that they want to play, like, or the players that they want to bring in. So sometimes that just gets in the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even I'll go like just to go back for football real quick, just because of the thing that I watched. When the Colts in the second round, when the Jets were trying to trade up for Corley or Wilson, when the Colts drafted A.D. Mitchell, he literally like pumped his fist, like celebrated that the Colts drafted A.D. Mitchell instead of one of the guys that they wanted. So it's just so many things that like when like the pre-draft process Like the stuff that they put, like, oh, we like his background. We don't like his background. We like his parents and that like that type of shit. So it's like with the Heat, it just feels like they have like, oh, you need to play hard nose. And I could understand why they would have gone with Achua, like based on like like the stuff that he's shown here, because obviously I didn't watch him play when he was on Toronto. But the stuff that he's shown, I could see why that's the type of player that the Heat wanted.
Yeah, and
You know what I'm saying?
to be fair, they had a surplus of guards at the time. They needed size. And Achua played. He played right away, and I mean, he wasn't starting. He wasn't getting crazy minutes, but he was good for what they wanted from him at the time. But it's just when you fast forward 4 years later and they no longer have the surplus of guards and their guards are all I mean their main guard obviously Butler is old and broken down. It's
They
just
have to
crazy.
extend him.
Hey, you
Crazy.
yeah, did you guys feel Tua should have had some minutes
Yeah,
last
he's
game?
definitely the one who should have been in there. If he was to guard, not to guard directly, but to be out on the perimeter for a 3-point shot. There's no way
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson should have been out there, because the way like Mitchell Robinson moves like a bigger dude than he is. He's real stiff up top. Like
I have a
he has
problem with Mitchell Robinson.
He's goofy.
He's goofy.
Yo,
He has the
it's
big
funny
shoulders.
you say that because my exact problem with him, I mean, I guess you could sum it up to he's goofy, but every time I hear somebody interviewed on the Knicks and they talk about who's the funniest guy on the team, it's always Mitchell Robinson. And that's all well and good, but for some reason, and maybe this is something wrong with me, but to me, unless you Shaq, the big enforcer who doesn't score can't be the funniest guy on the team. You can't be that funny. You can't be that funny, that goofy. I want some intimidation. I want some,
you gotta be the
enforcer.
dude that after Embiid does that, you gotta try to yoke Embiid up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think
he can't be the nice guy. Like, ooh.
As soon as you said that they say he's the funniest guy, it made me think it's they laughing at him, not with him, type thing. So everyone's like, yo, he's fucking hilarious, but he's like, I'm not even being funny. I have not yet been funny.
No,
like they're laughing.
I mean, if it's that, then it's 10 times worse. I don't even think it's that. If you're telling me that that's what you think it is, then if that's the case, then I think
just
it's 10
see it
times
in this.
worse. I just think he doesn't take himself too seriously, likes to goof around, and when you have a mixture of a big nigga who is does goofy shit, and I feel like he's in on the joke, whatever the jokes are. I feel like he's making jokes and being a funny nigga, and funny niggas that are big.
I would have to see that. I would have to see that to believe it, because he just seems like
me that he's the funniest because he's just a goofy clown and he's not in on the joke and they're making fun of him. Then that's 10 times worse than what I
like
think.
like they play the clown music
but they like
when
him.
He walks in.
Now nobody who's laughing at the guy likes him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know, man. He's also he's got to be one of the youngest, still one of the youngest players on the team, because he came into the league when he was 19. If I'm not,
he acts like it for sure.
Not
but
mistaken.
I mean, he did good for us. It's just in the closing minutes. I don't think. I mean, I know this is fucking Monday morning
stiff,
quarterback,
man.
but he shouldn't have been there. Yeah, we should have called the timeout. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we should have hit the fucking free throw, and they should have called the travel on Maxey, and we shouldn't have fouled him. So,
also Josh Hart wasn't out of bounds on that when the
that was crazy.
Down.
That was crazy. The fact that the fans started. The fans was yelling when they replayed it. They didn't show us, but I remember the fans being like yelling and shit.
One thing I don't understand about the replay is getting it right and still losing a timeout. I think that's the most ridiculous stipulation in terms of like any of the like in any of the leagues, like in terms of the replay, that's the most ridiculous stipulation. You having to call a timeout or challenging a play and then being correct and then losing the timeout. So that if you don't have a timeout, obviously you can't challenge and that sort of stuff. Like I just I and also it shouldn't just be two challenges. If you basketball is such a fast-paced game that if you get it right, you should have at least one more challenge. It it shouldn't be that it shouldn't be that like you have two and then that's it.
Yeah.
It's just like
Nah, he
basketball.
should be able to get it
There's too much going
more.
on, and there's only three people on the court to watch what's going on. And even like as good as referee like that you are, like in
You
football,
can't
how
see
many
all.
how many officials are on the are on the field, and even they make mistakes, and they have open field to kind of analyze like what's going on.
Oh, wow.
These games, these players are literally they're acrobats, yo. Like watching Anthony Edwards, watching fucking Tyrese Maxey, like the way they fly around, like it's crazy that there's not as many injuries. Like even though there's been a lot of injuries, not for what these dudes are doing. Like the way like Tyrese Maxey, like I saw, it's the first thing I thought. Like there was a play where he like accelerated and he made the layup, and then he stopped on a dime, like one step like past the out of bounds. And it's like, yo, this dude was probably going 25 miles an hour in flight and was able to just stop on a dime and turn back the other way. Like I don't get how they're able to do it. Like I feel like the way that the people are so close to the court, the stanchion from the basket is right there. I feel like there's not enough room for them to do what they're currently doing. Like there was enough. This is enough room. The current size is enough room to like when Shaq, Barkley, Karl Malone, like that. Though when those were the stars, and that's the type of basketball that they played, the court is fine for that. The way these players play right now, with like I said, like Ja Moran and all these dudes high flying and all that shit. Like the court's not big enough. Everything is too close, and they need to add one referee or something.
They need to just fucking be able to
Get the four
challenge everything.
corners. Get the four corners and bring them in, like depending on the play. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yep.
Well, you said
Referee.
Fields. Speaking of Fields, what do you think about Justin Fields being a kick returner?
Remember, you remember when I mentioned like that they're gonna.
I know that's
like,
why.
this
That's why.
new,
As soon as I saw it, I thought of you, and I wanted to remember to bring it up.
But I will say that that's embarrassing. Like, why would they even put that out? Even if that's like what something that why would you leak that out there? Because what you're doing is embarrassing.
Leaked out.
But what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Then
why would who leak it out? Like the organization?
But who-
They didn't leak it out there.
But who
Jalen
said?
Warren was being interviewed, and he was like on a podcast or some shit talking.
Oh, okay, no, because when I saw it, I think it was on PTI. That's when I saw it, and my son was like, "Yo, did you see that?" Because it was like
He
a
was
little
on
bit
Cam
before I came.
Hayward's podcast.
Yeah, well, I didn't see that. I just saw the thing on the bottom that said,
Okay.
or maybe it was the Mina Kimes. I don't know. It was just on the TV, and it said, "Return Justin Fields as a return," and I was like, "Yo, why would they even like that?" I don't know. That's kind of embarrassing. One
That's
and two, like, why would you like? I don't know. Like, I just feel like you're pretty much saying that he's not a quarterback if that's what you're thinking of doing with it,
Yeah.
which is fine.
But that's
Which is
not
fine,
What happened,
like-
though. What you're saying is not what happened, though.
No, I know, but that was my initial thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
no, 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 no. I mean, to me, it just sounds like it was a off the cuff idea that was brought up in what context I don't know, but the fact that it became public was because they were bullshitting about it on a podcast. But
Okay.
I don't know to what what degree of seriousness it was discussed. But
I mean, it's crazy though. Like, this is like even the fact that this is being mentioned is kind of like it adds to the intrigue of of like what people are trying to cook up with this play.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, so even if like the players are I feel like if they're mentioning it, like it just seems like the players are buying in, and you gotta assume like the coaches are taking it serious, and this is another one of the things where it's like, okay, that the special teams coordinator is going to be even more important now. And maybe
you know
they
what made
take
me laugh? What made me laugh was when I saw right after the Steelers made their first round pick, the first nigga that I saw to tweet about it was Russell Wilson. Oh, welcome to the Berg or some shit like
oh my
that.
god.
Welcome to the Berg, and he put and like he
Starting this shit.
whatever the tagline is for the Steelers social media. I don't even know. Steel City, Steelers country, whatever the fuck it is. He
Yeah.
put it with that motherfucker jumps from like without skipping a beat.
Yo.
He went from Seahawks, go Hawks after every interview, right to Broncos country, let's ride, right to Steelers
Bro,
country,
he's a
let's fucking
sociopath. He's a
steal, whatever the
sociopath,
fuck
bro.
it is.
He's a
He's the man.
sociopath.
Yo, he's
Like,
hilarious.
did
He has
did
no
you
idea what's
see
happening.
did you see that or see anything of the Pablo Torre um podcast where they interviewed
Yeah,
the
the
dude
the
that
guy who
was
was his this guy fucking Tice, right? Wasn't it
yeah, Nate Tice.
yeah,
Mike Tice's son.
Mike Tice, who was also the man.
Mike Tice's son. Mike Tice's son.
Mm-hmm. I got it.
Um,
I got it.
you got it? All right.
Yeah, I got it right away.
Um, um, but he like he's like a certified, like just he's like a robot. Like,
He's the
okay,
man.
I got new programming. Okay, like we take out that memory card,
Yeah.
you put the new memory card in, and it's just like he does the same shit, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like just a new name, like like the
Yeah.
dolls, like like the dolls that could say your name and shit like
Yeah.
that, like they would
I
advertise on
think
TV
I
for
think what
girls.
we're gonna
He's a
find out
doll.
is that he is AI. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's actually artificial intelligence. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing authentic about him. He
He's
is a human
he's
version of AI.
he's gonna be the
He's
other
the
AI
AI.
in Pennsylvania, but the actual artificial intelligence as a part as
Yeah,
opposed to Allen Iverson.
Yeah. He's the
excellent.
answer. He has the answers.
He's gonna be
Instead of
with an
being the
even
answer.
smaller statue. He's gonna have a little figurine.
Fucking
A
AI.
toy soldier.
But yeah, man.
Figurines. I got my good luck Matt Ryan fucking Funko Pop here. Now
Nice.
he's with the CBS fucking crew now.
What do you think?
This is
What do you
good
think about
luck for
that?
us now.
Wow.
Oh, I like that. He looks like a baseball player though.
It does. That's fire.
This is the guy right here.
Why would they? Why
The
why
new
they go hat
CBS
over
takeover.
helmet?
You're gonna blackface him and then put Penix in the back?
No, yes. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but I don't like my original plan was to change it completely. I didn't know who I wanted to
Cousins?
change him to. I was planning on changing him off the Falcons too, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
That's
With it. I got
dope.
a bunch of those Funko Pops, so I'm gonna paint them the same way that I fucking painted all those footballs.
That's
Speaking of that,
fire.
we gotta do the draw at some point. Now that the
Word.
draft is over, we gotta do
Word up.
we gotta bring the box back.
Yeah.
Bring the
Yeah.
box back out.
Yeah, we got to do that. What? Well, there's still basketball to talk. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is it's so wide open where it's like, apart from the other years where you kind of knew who was coming out, like the Warriors or the Lakers are going to be in the final or like close to the finals or Cleveland or
Yeah, no, see,
Miami when they
we're at
had
the
the big three. Like,
generation shift right now. That's why we're at the generation
Yeah,
shift.
facts.
Like we're at the point
Facts.
now where the KDs, the LeBrons, the Stephs, you know what I'm saying, their time of dominating the league and
passing the
consistently
baton.
being the team in the playoffs and in the finals, like that they finally the rest of the league finally caught up. So now we get actual. I mean that whole fucking that Warriors Cleveland shit got crazy. Like I could not deal with that. I'm glad that shit is over.
Yeah, because
with
the
and
whole season was
facing the
pointless.
finals, 10 times in a row. That shit was wild. But now you know what I mean. It's wide open. I still don't necessarily believe that that Boston is coming out of the East.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that Minnesota is gonna give Denver a tough series. I think that probably might end up being the toughest series of the West.
Who, Denver and who?
And Minnesota.
Nice.
Yeah, Denver,
That's going to
Minnesota,
be a
I think
nice.
is going to be pretty much the equivalent. I think whoever comes out of that series is going to win the West. I mean, and it's crazy because I feel like OKC, every time I feel like I'm doubting them, they keep on passing the barrier. Like I feel like, okay, they're a good team, but they're not going to be able to close out the season as the number one seed. Okay, they close out the season as the number one seed. I'm like, all right, now we're switching to playoff basketball. Let's see how they handle New Orleans. Now, albeit New Orleans obviously was without Zion, and New Orleans is a little bit of a suspect fraud team anyway. But I thought that they would have at least pick up a game, and they swept these niggas right out of there. So I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't keep on sleeping on OKC, but I feel like I still got to see it. I got to see it happen before I fully believe that they're gonna really be. And especially I hate to say it, but that commercial, my nigga, that shit. I don't know, man. I don't know that.
Yeah, they do get on that buzz though.
Nah, but one of them gets on and he gets right off. I can't deal with it, so I don't know. I don't.
I absolutely hate that commercial now, bro. Every time it comes, I'm like, look how but you know what it is? I want to like go in it. I hate it so much. I'm like, everything stops and I just zone in and hate everything about it. It's crazy. I think you did that to me.
Well, listen, I brought that shit up weeks ago. Now I feel like it's everywhere.
Yo,
and
somebody, I think DPH and what's the name spoke about it briefly.
Everybody's speaking about it. Every podcast I listen to has had a segment where they talk about the commercial, and and this is weeks after we did that shit. Fucking.
So it worked. Ago. So now we know what the whole campaign was.
Well, that's the one thing I will say is that I'm not going to give them full credit. I'm not going to give them full credit and say that this is what they were looking for. But at the end of the day, the point of the commercial, and listen, it definitely worked for AT&T. I don't know if it worked for, I don't feel like it has had the intended effect for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just because, I don't feel like people are saying, I still feel like there's people who know the commercial, know it exists, and still don't know who he is somehow.
Yeah. So
definitely.
I want to, because that was one of the things I was thinking of earlier this week, and I was forgetting until we brought it up. But you, sir, need to be saluted for being the first person to bring that up way before everybody else hopped on, because you did the appropriate thing.
Mm-hmm.
You blasted the commercial for how bad it was. The other people, what they ended up doing, everybody else, they ended up making the commercial, like you said, making the commercial popular by saying how bad it was. So it was like it turned into a bandwagon of, oh, I hate the commercial. I hate the commercial more. No. I hate the commercial even more than you. So what they ended up doing was they ended up making the commercial successful because you pointed it out from just being bad. Everybody else pointed
weird.
made it
very weird.
Everybody else turned it into viral, and that's almost as good as making a good commercial. So, like I said, you, sir, deserve your flowers for being the first person who
Facts.
said what he said,
Yep. Early.
not because everybody else was saying it, only because that's what you felt. And people are saying this commercial's on again. It gets 1,000 retweets, and then somebody else tweets the same thing because, Big Cat from Barstool said it, and they saw that it got 500 retweets, so I'm gonna say it too.
Word.
Listen, I mean, purple octane makes you see things in the future, see things before anybody else sees them. When I had the purple octane, I'm watching, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Were you on the
Like,
purple
sitting
octane?
As he's spinning, I see him
watching
spinning like
basketball,
that.
the shit is like a kaleidoscope.
Yo,
What the fuck is this?
First of all, were you wearing the purple rain when you were on the purple octane shirt?
No, truth be told, I was wearing a purple hoodie. I do remember this because I remember as I was watching the commercial, I was wearing the purple hoodie and I was laughing. Well, before the commercial came on, I remember I had the purple octane, I was wearing the purple hoodie, and I was just laughing hysterically, like, yo, why am I wearing a purple hoodie while I'm having the purple? And like,
Fire.
I look up and I see the commercial, and I had seen it before, but I was like so zoned in on it, and I was like, yo, this is wrong. Everything about this commercial is wrong and weird. It bothers me. And then it kept coming on, and then I started analyzing it because I was trying to I'm like,
It pissed you
where are they
off.
coming from? They're coming down the stairs. It's just, the guy gets on the bus, he gets off. They look very uncomfortable. I was getting
Yeah, they
uncomfortable.
look like they're going to prom.
They're wearing those weird fucking
Yeah,
Matrix
that outfit was
outfits.
weird.
The
Matrix.
outfits are crazy.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't know why.
I don't know. Like, what, to your original point, where you said like you noticed something different every time. That when I said that, I texted about like after like it gets the screen gets blurry, it looks like Chet Holmgren just like they yelled cut and came back. Like he
Yeah.
walked to the bus, but actually didn't walk onto the bus. That was one. But I just noticed. I don't know if I just noticed it or they did it subtly, but I had just noticed that the beat they added, like there's a beat that they
Oh yeah,
added.
you
I
did
don't
bring
want
that
to
up.
say.
I don't even know
Yeah,
if
you
I
mentioned
don't
that.
even know if I noticed that yet because like I would say if I seen the commercial 100 times, 75 of those times it was on mute. Like I've seen the commercial
Yeah.
so many cuz like I told you I watch so much shit on mute. But like cuz I'm trying to think if I seen that commercial before the playoffs started. I had to have been before the playoffs. And
Yeah, it
really
was
it
one of
wasn't
those things
until
where like gearing up for the playoffs. Like,
yeah. But because I think I first saw the commercial a bunch of times on mute before I even like noticed it and heard it. So that was why I was thinking like I don't know if they added that beat or if that shit was always in there because like so many times I've seen it on mute and so many times I'm like looking for other things. I noticed something different. Oh man, I don't know. This crazy, but it's just crazy that the commercial. I feel like the commercial is successful somehow, but it's also a huge failure because I don't even know what the point of commercials even really is anymore.
Yeah, they backed into it being like as successful as it was. They weren't trying to do this.
Yeah,
They weren't trying to do this.
and I don't even know like what makes a commercial successful because like I feel like I could go out on the street in the hood right now and say to somebody like, yo, have you seen this commercial? And I could describe it to them and people will say, I've seen it, I know it. And I'll be like, do you know who is in the commercial? I don't think half of the people would know who the basketball players are. I think less than half the people would know.
Yeah,
and I don't even think people would know that it's for AT&T. Like, that shit gets missed half the time. Like, there's so many times where I'll be watching, I'll know a commercial, I'll remember a commercial, and I'll be like, oh, you seen that commercial with the guy, he has the ball, and the girl comes out, and what was it for? I don't know. I don't remember.
But also, like, it just seems like polar opposite. Like, for example, like, there's nobody who is going to get AT&T because of that commercial. To your point, where you said you don't. Yeah, because to your point, where it's like you don't even know what commercials are for anymore.
Mhm.
Nobody's switching their phone because of that commercial, because there was nothing that pointed to like better service or anything like that. They fucking did the little handshake with the stupid snap, and then that was it. It had
Oh, the
nothing to do.
handshake. The
It,
handshake.
uh,
Oh, the
yo,
handshake.
man,
I could
I
I
can't
could
wait
do
to.
an
I
hour
can't
on the
wait to see this
handshake.
commercial.
I
can't wait to
hate,
see
I
this.
hate, yo, I hate the snap after, like after you do the that,
The
and
snap
then you
away.
do that. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
that yo,
never
that's it
understood that
bothers me
shit.
so much because you're not that's not the way you do it originally. But it also reminds me of R.I.P. Carlos Nobrega. He had the big ass fingers, no paws, and he would do it around your thumb
Yeah,
because
yeah.
his hands were so big, and it would annoy the shit out of him.
Oh man,
That,
that feels like
that
sexual assault.
there's only two people
Yeah,
that I know
That's
that
that
do that,
you
and they were
gotta
both
you
in
should
Sleepy
have to
Hollow.
ask for consent if you're gonna snap away
yeah,
like
for
that
real,
with
because
somebody.
it's like he stuck his finger somewhere.
Oh
Yo, for
man,
real, dog.
I have
I
another
remember that
commercial
shit.
that has been bothering me, but it hasn't been bothering me nearly as much as that one. So
Is
we
it
don't need to do a
the
full
chips one? Is it
analysis
the
on it.
chips one?
Which
Chips, which
one?
chips?
Oh, it's not chips. All right, good. Nah, you
No,
got to
I don't
bring
know
that
that
one
one.
to us next.
I will tell
Next.
you, it's a commercial with Giannis in it. That's all I'll say, and
Oh,
we could talk
Oh,
about
with
it
the
next week.
but yeah, let's talk about it next week because I gotta go.
with the blurred out
I'm
sprite.
about to go to the sports bar and watch
No,
the
it's
game.
not that one. It's not that one.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No, it's not that one. It's a different
Because I
Giannis
kind of like
commercial.
those. I kind of like those.
No, I don't. I
So what
don't. The
happened? What
Starry
happened, Cheeks?
commercials
You
I
do
think are
you?
ridiculous. They make me laugh, but
Yeah, they are funny. But what happened, Cheeks? You changed your mind?
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
go to
really,
the. I'm gonna end up going to the sports bar with my son. Now
you
it
really
was on
want to?
it.
Well, your son. Oh, okay. You
It was
really
really
want to
on
be
him.
around
That's why.
people? Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
I like me
nobody
personally. I
watches
don't like.
fucking basketball out here. They watch
Yeah,
fishing shows.
yeah, but that's what
well,
I'm
make
saying.
sure
You're
you
gonna
be
be
careful
loud
out
and
there.
yelling and shit. That's what.
Nah,
That's
I ain't
my
gonna
point.
go crazy. Yeah. Nah, we good though. We good. I mean, we gotta
Yeah.
be careful. We gotta be careful. Not a,
Wasn't it just a couple? Just a couple months ago that you were saying that you had some situation at a sports bar. Be careful out there, please.
yeah. Oh
Yeah, when you had
that
almost
was.
the
Yeah.
FBI looking for, like looking
Oh
for
my
you.
God. Yeah. But things have changed since then.
Yo.
Oh,
I'm a
things
little.
have changed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basketball season instead of football season.
Yeah. Yeah. We're a little
All
safer
right, so
nowadays.
this is it. You have any last words? Any last go Knicks? Obviously, you have any last
Let's go.
picks
Say go New York, go New York,
for
We
the
go.
win
game? Do
tonight.
you
We
have
win
any? What are
tonight.
your expectations? Big Brunson game?
We have
Yeah.
to.
DiVincenzo bounce back? What are we looking
Yo,
at?
you took the words out of my mouth, bro.
He gotta put
Like
points up.
he was been too big of a reason throughout the season, like of what they've done
Bars.
throughout the
But
season.
I'm telling you, that's what I was afraid of when it came to postseason. That
Yeah.
fucking
And
your
he's very
second best scorer being
but he's very
DiVincenzo, and he
inconsistent.
can't get a bucket. All he could do is shoot threes. That was my
Yeah.
fear.
Yeah. He's very
Yeah,
inconsistent. He was inconsistent regardless. Even when he did
yeah,
give us 30, for 2 nights, he'll disappear and then it'll be sporadic.
yeah. But that's
So
why I'm saying are we seeing the bounce back? Like
That's what I'm saying. He needs to at least knock down. Like, listen, even like what he did in the fucking in game 4. No, was it game 4?
no, 3.
the one he won.
No, game 3. No, that was game 2. I'm thinking game 2. Yeah,
Oh.
the buzzer beater game. Like, even if he just knocks down, even
Oh,
if he
yeah.
don't give you, even if he doesn't get to like 15 points, but even if he gives you 12 points, but they're 4 key moment 3s, like that, he needs to.
He
at
did.
least
He
if
did that
he's-
for us last game. He hit those 2 big 3s. I think game 3 where he only hit like 2 shots, but they were back to back big 3s.
Well, he needs to be
You know,
impactful because he's starting to get phased out of the. He's
You
not
know-
even getting minutes with the way that he's been playing. Deuce
and-
McBride's been
and-
taking his minutes.
yeah, and
Yeah,
well
Deuce has
deserving
been-
though. Well
Deserve-
deserving.
but also they-
he can get a
they
bucket
ha-
better than DiVincenzo.
1000%.
and sometimes DiVincenzo does some of those bonehead plays where
Yeah,
like he gives it away or like a turnover or
shoots
doesn't.
sporadically. Doesn't
Yeah,
foul. Stupid foul. He
he's like
fouls stupidly. he fouls stupidly.
Yeah,
Like
he's
he
kind of
does.
like
He does.
he's kind of like Isaiah Hartenstein, where like sometimes like Isaiah Hartenstein will have like a 3 minute or 4 minute span where like his brain gets scrambled and he'll do some like dumbass fouls or like a stupid pass or not catch or not catch a pass properly or something like that or airmail somebody. Like he's gotta get rid of that. And I know it's easier said than done. That plus they got to bring somebody else up off the bench because they can't be doing
Achua.
it's too this is too thin. And Ochua, you saw what he did against Embiid. Maybe they were, like maybe they saw what was going on. They thought they had the game in the bag and thought that like, yo, we'll just keep Ochua fresh and
Nah, that
and
was
unleash
stupid.
him.
Yeah. They got to bring him out late in the game because he's gonna be a pair of fresh legs. And that's one thing that I did notice that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, bro. They were Brunson was exhausted. He was exhausted by like halfway in the fourth. He was done. The fact that he gave us 5 in the OT, I was stunned. The fact that he gave us 5 in OT, I was shocked. And that's when I thought DiVincenzo should come in. I thought a fair pair of fresh legs should come in. But I guess I was reading body language. I tend to do that. So
No,
I
I
don't know.
mean
Maybe
that's what
they.
you got to do, and especially because that's my thing, and that has been my thing with the Knicks all season long. Is just that my biggest fear was just that like when it comes to playoff time and you got to grind out these
Yeah.
fucking games, and the D is tight, and you're not getting these
Pause.
open threes all the time, like you're fucking like if it's gonna be all Brunson, all like
Can
yo
be.
man, like if he can. Like he proved me wrong even during the regular season because I didn't think he was going to be able to bear that, that the burden of the
Facts.
whole entire offense on his back, for as long as he has. But yo, to get through 3 series, man, 3 grinded out series is going to be hard if somebody else don't step up and find out a way to get a bucket.
Yeah.
Like Brunson, man, if he can
Consistently.
do it on his own, he'll be a fucking legend forever. But like, yo, somebody needs to come out and give him a possession where he could fucking just chill. Like every possession, this nigga's
Bro, like somebody needs to at least bail him out. Not like for example, like Tyrese Maxey bailed out Joel Embiid the whole entire game. Like all Brunson needs
series,
is like somebody.
Except for the game.
Well, yeah, true, true. But all Brunson needs is somebody to bail him out for a quarter. That's all they need. Like.
Yeah, like somebody get hot for a quarter. Like let Deuce
that's
get
what I'm
hot
saying.
for a quarter. Now, exactly. Let
And if
Deuce
he's
get
hot, don't
for a
take
quarter,
him.
knock a
If he's
couple
hot, don't take him out.
Yo,
know
how
what I'm
sad is
saying?
it? Real quick, because I gotta go to the sport. I'm gonna leave soon. But how crazy is it that the fucking owner has to buy those tickets? That's fucking
Ridiculous.
sad. That's pathetic.
Well, it's
It's
sad,
ridiculous.
and I mean, well, he's not even the owner anymore.
It's smart
but
though. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what he needs to do is spend that money and get the express and pay for express shipping so he could get the fucking the uniforms to the baseball players. Because the Mets haven't been able to wear their blue or the black uniforms because they haven't been delivered yet. So how about you spend your money on Mr. Fanatics? How about you spend your money on that instead? How about that?
And how about him celebrating the Knicks betters losing? Did you see that?
Nah.
No.
He had tweeted out when the Sixers won. I don't think it was after the last game. I think it was after the other game that they won. I think he tweeted out something about thanks for betting on the Knicks or something like that. And I'm just like,
what a fucking clown, bro! Like, read the room. That's not something you should do.
Read the room. Read the fucking read the
read the law.
FCC, bro. Like I don't know. Like you got to be careful when you're dealing in gaming and all that. Like all the money that gets exchanged in there, you got to be real. You got to be real cautious of what you're talking about and what kinds of things you're saying when you run in a sports book.
Well, on top of that, when stuff like the 2-minute report comes out and it comes out that like, yo, there was 4 calls that should have gone this way. And then you got people like tweeting that celebrating that they won all this money because of that.
I know.
Like, yo, that's a slippery slope, bro.
You fuck around, end up like Jonte Porter.
Yo, real quick. Yo, the Porter family, bro.
Yo,
like,
speaking of that, you know that your man. No, I won't even joke around and say your man.
Don't say my
this
man.
nigga, Michael Porter Jr. has a podcast, right?
Yeah, I think that like I sent y'all the picture. I think that was from that. No.
I listened to it.
Oh my God,
I listened
he's
to
No
so
one.
way.
stupid,
I only listened to one episode. But he has
and
a
he
bunch
just
of
sounds like an
episodes.
idiot.
He does, and
What?
not only that, it's a terrible podcast, and he I feel like if you can't have it both ways, bro. If you want to be in media and you want to like this is gonna be your thing, you have to address all the bullshit that your name is being dragged through. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Draymond Green, he wanted to have a podcast. He wants to set himself up to be a, post career whatever. Like he doesn't duck or avoid or
Mm.
ignore any of his controversies. I mean, granted, his controversies are not the same as the shit that Michael Porter's dealing with, but like either don't do the show, take some fucking time off, let this shit breathe, and then come back. But if you're gonna be doing episodes throughout all this chaos and not
Yeah.
even acknowledging it, like, because that was the only reason I
Yeah.
listened to it, because I'm like, yo, is this nigga gonna address this shit at all? Like, this
He's
nigga's
gonna,
name
you
is
think he
everywhere.
has
Yeah.
to? You think he has
But
to? But
you know what? If you send your kid to a public school, they might come back and say, "Mom, I'm a cat."
Yo, he's wildin'. He's wildin'.
Like, my nigga, get the fuck out of here,
He's a
yo.
clown,
Y'all
man.
niggas is all idiots, and he's just the most talented idiot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how he gets
All
away
right,
with
Doug.
that shit.
All right,
All
fella.
right, well, that's gonna do it. Knicks in 6, right? It rhymes.
Let's go,
Truth
Knicks.
be told, like I mean, to be fair, I'm rooting for the Knicks, but I feel like I don't even think it's because the Sixers are better than the Knicks. I just feel like the NBA this is gonna be too close of a game, and the NBA too desperately wants that Game 7 in the Garden on a Saturday to get that number. If they can find a way to get the B gets a little foul here, a little foul there, a little little call here, just to push that Game 6, I feel like the Knicks got a real uphill battle tonight just because of that.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Like
Yeah,
it
I
but
wouldn't
agree.
Scott
surprise
Foster.
me to see them. Yeah, well, he's reffing the game.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But
He's
the
in
only
it.
thing I will say, is Scott Foster is a person who gets pissed off when you like cry about calls and you do all of this other shit in histrionics. I could see that. Like I understand the series extender thing, like where they're gonna want to make game
Extender.
7, the extender,
That's such a ill
but I
fucking
just
nickname.
yo the extender, yeah, it's like an
Extender.
X-Man, like with extender. But
Cool.
but yo, like if they start doing that shit, you know that like all the crybaby shit that they've been doing, all series, I can see Scott Foster like looking for shit, like you know what I'm saying? Like he's that type of dude, or at least
Yeah.
he strikes me as that type of dude.
Yeah. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. Go New York. Go New York. Go. Go New York. Go New York. Second quarter. That's the most important thing to me because we're trying to cash. You saw my cap. The Knicks have not scored less than 29 points in the second quarter, all series long. Over 25.5 should be money in the bank, baby. Let's go.
Let's get it.
That's
Let's
when
get it.
Embiid sits, and when Embiid sits, the Knicks eat. So we're going to eat.